what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Block Tales reaction. It has been far too long. I think August of last year is the last time I heard anything from this game, but they apparently have a new song, Trinity Council. So, given a bunch of people have been asking for this one on and off through the comments over the past, 2 or 3 weeks, I figured, sure, let's go for this one. Let's see what it is, because I do remember loving all of the songs I had heard from Block Tales before, so I can't imagine this is going to be all that different since it's nicopatty yet again, and I suppose without further ado, let's go! Simple start, kind of as expected. Good way to introduce the melody. Ooh, ooh, ooh! I don't really remember much of what the other songs sounded like at this point. So it's kind of like just getting a first exposure again. That's fun. Very well balanced. Ooh, little chimes in there. Do it again. Yep. This is surprisingly metal. I don't remember this being a factor of the last ones I heard. Except for the one that wasn't nicopatty. It might have been, though. It's a really good blend, though. I'm loving that. A little delay in there. Woo! Drag the pitch bend up. Sitting in the pocket. Love it. A little bit of variety. The spice of life. This is a really good track. I mean, now I'm remembering more of why I liked the original songs I'd heard. And I think that passion is still very much there. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Go for some ethereal vocals. Very nice melody on them, too. It's just knocking against haunting, you know? That perfect, fantastical blend. Ooh. Damn. You know, I always do get worried when I revisit something after a while, especially in the Roblox scene, if it's been a few months even, there is a definite possibility that the composer who's been working on it is just getting tired of working on it. It hasn't happened too much, mind you, but there is definitely a window where I could imagine people getting tired and not wanting to work on a project anymore, and I don't think that's the case here. You can still feel the huge ripples of effort in this track, and it just sounds gorgeous. So like I said with the original ones I had heard, this is really fucking good. Okay, so for those of you who might be coming back after the last Block Tales video I did and you're like, man, this looks a little bit different. Yes, also I have a piano now. So basically I can show you what's going on with this song, and a lot of it just roots in E minor. That's the key we're in, I'm pretty sure. And like most of the beginning of the song just lays into this. You know, like there might be a little bit of a trade-off between the E minor and the G, but largely it's just like an E minor 7th, I think, because that would be a G with an extra bass note or an E minor with an extra high note. So, you know, either way you want to see that, that's kind of what's happening in the beginning of the song. And for the main chord progression, we mostly just get C, albeit I'm pretty sure again, a 7th, so all 4 of those notes there. But either way, to simplify it, a C, an E minor, shocker there, B minor, and then we go down to A minor, and then back up to B minor, and it settles into the E minor before we loop back around into the C. There's a lot of other variety that happens in this song. We go up between like these two here, the F and the E minor, but that's mostly just for the tension near the beginning. We also, I do think, hit up here at one point. There's a lot of stuff happening in here, and some of it might just be incidental, but at least at its core, that's kind of what's going on here. Especially the B minor is like the hook of this song. It's not the key that we're in, but it is the chord that matters arguably the most for the rest of the stuff going on. And the thing I really love about this E minor and B minor relationship is really just that. It's this beautiful dichotomic relationship where they're just fighting against each other, and then they split the difference with the C. So you could really feel that release in there when the C comes around, and it just feels so good, which also that does kind of come into play later in the song. This sort of relationship is very much what happens with the vocals at the end, that vocal line. Oh, it's so good. And just for sake of showing you that, and the reason that I love this is because it's all on E minor, big shocker there. This is a common through thread with basically any melodic vocal line. You follow the key that you're playing in, and there you go, you'll have a melodic line somewhere in there. But what I love about this is, if whether or not this was intentional, it follows a very interesting relationship to me, which is, like I mentioned, the E minor here, but then this note going down to this one, how it ends there, this is an E sus4, and this note here that hinges into that final note of the main part of it, that is an E sus2. And what we get out of those is just this beautiful relationship, very harmonious, a little bit of tension in there, but never enough to feel like it's going in the wrong direction. It is a natural, almost effortless relationship to utilize something like this, the E sus4, the E sus2, and then the back to the standard minor that we're in. So it's really nice there. And when it does drop lower, it goes like all the way down here to this B, and this feels wrong because we were playing that B minor, but this C isn't there. That's the note that split the difference, which is why that whole passage earlier fits with that chord progression. It's basically calling back to that. And again, I don't know how intentional that was, but damn if it doesn't work fantastically, and it adds so much more emotion to this passage, being able to do that and then having it split the difference once more with the B to C. So, oh God, it's like there's so many little things that are so good about this song. The general composition is fantastic. I do love the balance of everything. Phenomenal balance of all of the moving parts in this song. I really did not anticipate having vocals that close to the end, but obviously now I understand why people wanted me to hear this one, because like I mentioned, this is a song that clearly is by somebody who hasn't lost their edge in music or love for this project they're working on, and I adore that. I love the simplicity that it started in, and almost immediately expanding upon that and making the theme sound so much more intricate in such tiny ways. Like I mentioned, the very beginning of this song is mostly just the E minor, probably E minor 7th. So it's like that's literally everything for the first like minute of this song before we start to visit that tension between the F and the E minor, and then we have things even like a relationship of the E4 going into a regular E, and that happens at the very end, and I think somewhere in the middle of this song. So we do have that sort of a relationship, and it resolves nicely into that E, which usually wouldn't work if we're in the key of E minor, but you do have incidentals that do need to resolve at times, and when you're using something like a sus4 or even a sus2, there's a reason that these work together. Musically, there is a purpose that they function the way they do. But having everything so centric around the tonic of this song, which would be the E minor here, beautiful chord to pick, and like I said, very interesting relationship to have everything working together, but at the same time kind of stepping away in an interesting fashion to separate the entire song apart and have this beautiful fight with itself the whole way through. And no matter how high we go, or if we visit A and not even A minor at times, there are still moments in this song that feel so bright and hopeful, but at the same time dark enough that you're not really expecting to see anything bright and hopeful. This is a very interesting tightrope for a musician to walk, and it doesn't always end up turning out good. But in this case, they nailed this middle ground feeling of like everything in here having this tensive relationship and being met in the middle ground by something that it really feels like that's the intention of the song. The middle ground, this beauty that could go in either direction, towards healing or towards destruction, really depending on whatever happens to that in between. The C chord, for example, on this one being that in between, that master chord that links these other ones together and makes it feel so much more impactful and powerful in that progression. So fantastic work yet again by nicopatty and everyone else involved. Brilliant. I hope to hear more. I don't know how many more there may be for Block Tales recently. I only heard about this one. As far as I'm aware, this is the only one. Maybe, but there might be a couple more. This is just the only name I've seen. So if there are more and people want me to get to those, by all means, let me know in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!